It's time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show live on WBON TV and on radio at WEKY, WKXO, and WIRV. Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse and join us here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. Also brought to you by Bishop Small Engine Repair and Nuevo Vallarta. And now let's go live to your host, Michael Watkins and Samantha Burford.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show here on a Monday night, a rainy Monday night, and a cold Monday night, Samantha Burford.
That's why I'm wearing my special pullover, you can see. Repping tonight.
There you go. Yep. Yes. We're at the Jack Burford Chevrolet Studios here at Jack. I got my yellow. Look here. I was feeling
banana,
springy.
Savannah banana look going on.
I was feeling
over
springy,
there.
Coach Will. We got
your Easter colors on.
Well, Wells here with us.
That's right, we do. We could take a whole hour. Every time he's on the show, I'm like, we should just book him for the whole hour because we could ask 1,000 questions.
Well, and there's a lot going on right now. Even though we're in the off season, I mean, it's a busy time for you guys.
It never slows down, you know, especially with the transfer portal and NIL and all the stuff that we're going through and navigating now. It's a never-ending process. Of course, we just started spring, so tomorrow will be number 5, and so looking forward to getting out there. Hopefully, it looks like it's going to rain tomorrow, but then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday looks like it's going to be pretty. So
before we get into that spring stuff, can we talk about the transfer portal just a smidgen?
Whatever you want to.
How much it has changed. Yeah. It's hard to keep up.
It's you know, we were looking at it today. It was funny. There's a young man that went in at another school that we had recruited, and he went to another school, and I sent it to the staff, and it's just like it's ongoing that somebody goes in all the time. I was talking to a couple of coaches today, you know, and they were like, yeah, well, this kid's going in, and this kid, you know, it's like, good night. We have had that, but we haven't had it to the degree of some other schools. Now, we did early on with the opt-outs with the COVID and all that stuff, but we didn't have as many this year. And you know, it's just something you got to navigate right now. I don't know what the NCAA is going to do about it. I saw something today where they're talking about 40 to 45 teams breaking away and, you know, doing this and that, and they're going into all this. It's going to happen. I don't know when. Within the next 5 years, it's, you know, college football and college athletics is going to look crazy. It's going to come, you know, it's almost like it's coming full circle back to the haves and the have-nots a little bit, and you know, back how it was. You know, some of the rules I'm hearing that are going to come around the pike are just incredibly interesting because, you know, you heard about them when I first started, you know, when I was in college, and then, you know, you lived some of them and stuff like, and it's coming right back around. Like, you know, I was the last graduating high school class that didn't have to qualify, thank God, and academically, you know, and now they're talking about going back to that. And it's like, okay, you know, because of different reasons, and I'm sure they're all valid. I don't know. I'm sure they did more research than I've done. But the transfer portal is here. It's not going anywhere. The Supreme Court decided that for us. So, you know, you better play it, and you better play it to the best of that you can, which you don't know, but you try to do your best in educating yourself on that.
I hope it works out for both. Right?
Well, as you do.
No doubt.
No doubt.
The athletes
you know, to me, I feel like if I'm a college football coach, or, I mean, basketball or baseball, whatever the sport is, it almost, I feel like you want the experienced players. So how hard is it to try to navigate that? And then, like, well, I've got this high school kid that I'm looking at too, to kind of pick and choose. Maybe it's, you know, system fit or whatever the case may be there.
Well, you know, if you lose a junior, you don't want to replace it with a freshman.
Yeah.
Because odds are the freshman's not quite ready.
Yep.
You know, to be what you've put 3 years or 4 years, depending on if he's a redshirt junior. So you got to navigate all that. It's roster management, you know, different form of roster management than it was before. The development piece is probably going away, you know, from the high school kids because we're always going to sign some high schoolers. We're always going to. I just think that's how you build your program. But the problem is, gone are probably the days of, you know, and Coach Kidd being here 40 years are gone. We all know that. But guys coming and staying 4 or 5 years are probably gone for the most part, unless things go well, and they just fall in love with what they fall in love with. So, you know, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, I'm friends with a lot of people at higher levels, and you know, they've got guys that that's all they do is watch the portal, get the film, watch the film, and they can tell us about our players just as much as we can tell them.
Yeah.
Sometimes because they've got people that's all they do, and we had guys that had interest from FBS programs, Power 5 programs, and both of them chose to stay. So I was really pleased with that, and but that's not always going to be the case, and we've got to be prepared. And what it really does is it takes your assistant coaches, and now that you used to recruit here, and this was heavy, and this is not as heavy, and it's heavy all year round. And I got something today on mental health from the NCAA, and I just kind of laughed at it. I filled it out, but I'm like, don't ask me, ask the assistants, because they're the ones going through it all. And it's not like I've been a head coach that long, but it's hard. I mean, you never stop recruiting anyway. But to have visits available all the time, that's hard to do, and financially that's hard to do.
It's extremely difficult, I would think. It's a constant watch. You could hire someone full time as an assistant just to do the portal.
You could do that definitely. Now we don't have the availability to do that, and that's no knock at Eastern or anything like that. Nobody. I mean. When I say people have that, it's Alabama, it's Georgia, it's LSU, it's I don't even think Kentucky has one yet. So I mean, there are people that have those that are just solely concentrated on that, and it is, it's dying down a little bit, I think, because I think so many people are being left out that. They're like, well, wait a second. I better have assurance before I jump, and just because somebody told me I'm jumping. Doesn't mean the assurance, doesn't mean somebody the same day doesn't jump that's better than you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how it goes. And so it's a two-way street. And once you jump, now you put it in our hands.
Yeah.
We don't have to take you back. And I think that's a case-by-case, just like going in is case-by-case. And I agree. I hope everybody works. I hope it works out for everybody. If you don't want to be here, I'm not mad at you for that. For whatever reason you feel like you need to leave, that's right. On you. And that's what, I'm not here to live your life. I have enough trouble living mine, So
and sometimes that grass isn't always greener.
Yeah, even though it looks like it is.
And that's what they find out, right. and that's what everybody finds out. And sometimes it is. And so, there are cases I think it's great. And not every case is great. The problem is the education that goes into it. We have no numbers. Well, why? Well, we've only had it for a year and a half, so the numbers are going to be skewed. And it's definitely going to say don't do it. But then you're going to have the numbers of the people that say do it. Will Levis, look at him up there. I mean, we've had Kyle Bailey, who came in here from Western last year and was a great player for us. And the scouts at the NFL Pro Day are fired up about him. So same thing with Roy Baker from Buffalo, who transferred to us. So it's working out for everybody in some form or fashion, but you got to be careful. You got. It's like anything. My dad never told me. He told me once I did it. I quit a job and didn't have a job. He's like, "What are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "This is when I was young." I thought I was getting. Yeah, you thought. And so, bird in hand beats two in the bush sometimes.
How many scholarship athletes do you have on your team, on your roster?
At the FCS level, you have 63 full scholarships that you can give, but you can have up to 85.
Okay.
And there's a formula into it. We don't break up a lot of our scholarships. We give full scholarships, but because of the cost of attendance piece, then we are able to go over that a little bit. And so we will have on some form of scholarship in the fall, I would think we'll be right at 80.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's not all full scholarships, but the way the cost of attendance piece breaks it down for us, the way Eastern does some things academically with their scholarships, and they're not academic scholarships, but they're for all students that have a certain GPA when they come in. Things like that help us create more scholarships.
Yeah.
So we're not as far off as a lot of people think from a G5 level scholarship-wise. That's not that hard, I don't think.
And that's not just for football. That's for everybody, right?
That's for us. That's just for football.
Oh,
now,
okay.
I can't tell you what AW and those guys get.
Yeah.
I don't think they can't break. Well, AW can't, and Greg, but baseball. I think they only have like 13 or 11 or something like that for the national. I mean, everybody has a limit. In G5 or Power 5 FBS football is 85, and they're all full scholarships. And boom, that's all you get. You get 85.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And so, it's like we got 96 out right now. So you take that 96, I think 42 of them of that 96, no, I'm a little more than that, probably, or a little less than that, probably 35 of them right now are walk-ons. Okay, because you fill your roster out to 110.
Yeah.
And we have, or 120 is what we do, because we have 120 lockers. I'm like, I'm gonna give everybody a locker, and if it goes past that, if I need more than 120 players, I'm probably doing something wrong.
Injury bugs done took over the world.
Either that, or we got a lot of really, really good players.
Yeah.
So, and we do, but I mean, we got plenty of room for those guys. But it's a management piece that you used to would. You'd do it after signing day, and then you'd kind of start right about now getting ready for spring recruiting. And we have roster management meetings, either once or twice a week.
So on that topic, is the roster pretty much set for next season, or is there still some movement?
No, we're going. Well, I mean, I don't know yet, because we're just into day 4. Somebody's probably not going to be happy and probably go into the portal.
Yeah.
So. I don't know, but the majority, I'd say 80% of it, 90% of it's set. There's still about 3 pieces that we got to, 4 pieces that we need to put in there. And then whoever leaves, however that goes, you just kind of anticipate. You start reading body languages. You start reading, all right. You start, you better watch him, and just find out. The biggest thing I want is just tell me. Just tell me. Just let me know.
That's difficult, though, isn't it?
But it's difficult. The trust piece becomes becomes difficult because, if they tell us, are they afraid that we're going to hold that against them? And I get that. That's human nature. I'm not, but
someone might.
Someone might, and their experiences might not. Tell the people that they truly trust might tell them not to do that, and so it is what it is. I tell our coaches, I said, you better have a list of high school players and a list of transfers at your position. You're the head coach of your position. So you better have a list, even if, like right now, I wouldn't think we would go after any offensive linemen. That we're set on that. But if a couple things happen, you better have a list ready. Or, quarterback or wherever we're at, you better have a list ready because, and I don't want just names. I want guys that have been evaluated, that we've been talking to. And so that's where the extra work comes in because you don't want to bring somebody in here you don't know a whole lot about because you may be missing something.
Yeah.
And if he's not up to what you thought he was, that's on you.
Then it hurts the program in more ways.
Hurts the program and it hurts the coach because then it makes them look bad.
Well, everything you do, you want to upgrade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I don't mean that in any disrespect to anybody, but if we lose a player, we need to get one better. I mean, that's just how it is. Now, they may not be, but all our research has got to tell us that, he's got a chance to be better. So we go with it.
I feel like we're getting all the inside.
Well, and that's why we like catching up with Coach because I feel like there's
I'm
behind the
constantly
scenes.
learning. Like I'm absorbing.
Yeah. Well, and behind the scenes, there's so much that goes on. You don't just draw up a play in the sand. There's a lot that goes on.
Well, and as a fan, we just sit there and watch the game and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we don't see all the work behind the scenes. It's a puzzle.
It's a every day. You wake up thinking about it. I mean, it's truly a passion to coach, to play, and to be a fan. It is. I mean, because you live and die with what's going on, and and that's important. And it's important that you really, no offense, that you don't need to know all that stuff. All you're worried about is, am I going to enjoy the atmosphere? Am I going to have a good time at the game? And are our guys going to represent EKU the way they should represent them?
Wow. And this year, you guys really made that happen. With all the changes, with all the walking out, with all the fireworks and
it was truly a show. That's for sure.
A show.
Well,
you really put the fan perspective into
I think that's important because, and our administration has done a great job. All the guys over there, and it's important that people come. They come for the game. They come to watch the game, but that's just a part of it.
Yeah.
The before and the after and the in between. I mean, you've got to entertain everybody, and nowadays you can do that if you understand how to work all the stuff that y'all know how to work that I have no clue how to, but I just say, hey, can we not do this? Can we do this? Can we do that? And, we had a meeting today. We had a marketing, or a week ago, we had a marketing meeting, and it's all about how can we make the experience better for our fans. People used to come to see Coach Kidd's teams. Why? Because they were great.
Yeah.
Why? Because there was not 15 games on TV. But we're competing with ESPN 25 and, whatever else is out there. And, I think after the pandemic, everybody was worried, but I think people want to get out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think they want to sit inside. I think they enjoyed it for about 2 months of the pandemic, and then after that, now these young kids today, that's all they want to do is play on those boxes.
Yeah.
But I still think they want to get out and enjoy and be a part of something, and so we have to engage them to be a part of EKU football.
Right.
I mean, it's 6 Saturdays in the fall. You can have a great time. Come out and watch some quality football and enjoy before, during, and after.
And you bring your family to one game, you have a good time, you'll come back.
They'll come, and
it's
maybe
more revenue.
That's right. Maybe you'll bring your friends and they'll come back, and we can get back to where the crowds are. Listen, and I don't take. I hope nobody takes this the wrong way. I don't pay attention to the crowd. I wave to my wife at the beginning, and I'll give her a thumbs up or a thumbs down at the end, and I go running inside. I don't worry about the crowd. I've never noticed it whether there's 102,000 in the stadium or it's just unless it just gets really cranking loud, But there are kids, our players, they work hard. They really do. They got a lot of stress on them. They got a lot of different things on them, and some of it they bring on themselves. But that's social media these days.
Yeah.
And for them, I think that's what they deserve, and so we have to do everything we can to provide that product for them. It helps in recruiting. It helps in everything that we do to build the program to what we need it to be.
Let's take a commercial break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk to Coach about some of the events that are coming up here in the near future. We'll get to those when we come back. We're live at Jack Burford Chevrolet on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
What does in transit mean? When you see that on our website at jackburford.com, it means your favorite Chevy is on the way. Call us at 859-623-3350 to reserve it, and we'll keep you updated throughout the entire process. See, it's that easy. Reserve your new Chevy today at jackburford.com. Your vehicle is now in transit.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Kokudet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation with 24/7 emergency services. Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find, and that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, talking EKU football with the head man himself, Walt Wells. And, Coach, there's some big things coming up in the very near future for you guys as you kind of navigate the the winter weather here in the spring time here. But let's talk about Suits for Seniors first, and just kind of the idea behind this and how we're going to be moving forward with what this event is going to be.
Well, I hope this becomes an annual event, whether I'm here or not. And I think it's something that EKU can support, EKU football and the Warren Cleat Club can support. We've had great support from those guys, Bobby Scannell being the one guy that runs the show for all that and kind of coordinates all the Warren Cleat Club. And then Grant Stepp and Taylor Randall, who work in our university over here, they've done a great job of helping us out, along with Gary McPeak. And what they've really put it all together. I kind of gave them the idea and said, this is what I want, and this is kind of what I'm thinking. But it's just going to be an opportunity for our young men. I think it is in a week from today. I think it is. We have a job fair training, and then on the 29th we will have a job fair for them. And we've got 25 to 30 different businesses, Jack Burford Chevrolet being one of them, coming in and just interviewing our guys. So they'll be sitting at a table much like this, and they'll have all these different businesses coming up, to talk to them about their opportunities that they have at their business, and just to start a networking deal. That morning, and then Tuesday morning before that, all our seniors that are either have graduated from last year's class or that are in the process of graduating up until December will have a suit that is custom fit for them from cuff to collar down on Main Street. All right, so they get a custom suit. They can come in, they can pick the lining, they can pick the material, the color, all that stuff. They get fitted, professionally fitted. They get 2 shirts. And they get a couple of pairs of socks, I think, a belt, and a tie.
Wow.
So we're going to send them off. They get a degree, they get a suit. All right, they get an opportunity to network in a job fair. So they'll have 2 years to do that moving forward, because our juniors are going to be involved in the job fair, and our seniors and anybody that's graduated. So we'll have them all in that job fair. And so I think that's a great opportunity for them. We bring them here. We demand a lot of them. Yeah. They get a lot. I get all that. But, let's just be honest. They probably put in as much time as anybody for their scholarship. So, and I know people don't believe that, but they do. And so they deserve an opportunity to get something started. And, who knows, it may be just a conversation with somebody that 10 years from now they end up having a business partnership. You never know how it goes. It may be an immediate job opportunity. It may be a situation where they talk to a guy for 45 minutes. I ain't doing that. Yeah. That's not what I want to do. And so then somebody else walks up, that's what I want to do. And so it's just an opportunity for us to give them something to start with. And so obviously we have to pay for those suits somehow. So we have a dinner that night starting at 6 o'clock. It's just a celebration for this. It's a fundraiser for this. It's a silent and a live auction. It's a $10,000 raffle, and Magnolia Vale is going to sing, so they'll be there. I think they're both EKU, either former students and or graduates. I've been a couple places where they've sang before. Those 2 young ladies do a great job. We'll have, it's a casual affair. Everybody keeps asking me. It is casual. Like jeans and a polo. It's not. I'm not trying to get stuffy over here at Arlington in the Mule Barn, And
just because we're trying to buy suits doesn't mean you have to wear
a suit. Not to this affair. No, it is casual. It's not business casual. It's casual. Okay. So if it's warm, and because we're going to have a tent out behind the Mule Barn where all the tables are. And that's where the raffle will go. We'll have the Mule Barn will have some tables in it, but mostly will be set up for the silent auction items and all the different beverages that we'll have there. And we'll have a steak and potato type dinner, a ribeye steak, potato, and whatever else comes with all that. I'm letting some of them handle that. And then we'll have cigars. And, with your ticket admissions, everything's free. Everything, just come in and enjoy the night. And it'll go from basically 7 to 11. We have shuttles that'll be running. So if you need a shuttle home or a shuttle to it, you'll be more than happy to, it's free. Just hop in there, or tip the driver. But
EKU Uber.
Yeah, that's and so we've had a lot of interest in this, and we had a meeting on it today, and I'm really, really excited about where it's going. We really think the final push is coming, and we're already sitting where we need to be sitting at, and so I'm excited about the night. Now, like I said, I want it to be an annual deal, because then the next day is the spring all day spring practice stuff and finale. And so, I think our kids are excited about it. I'm anxious to kind of watch the job training next Monday, and then to go to the job fair and just kind of see how some of them are going to knock it out of the park.
Right.
I know it. And some of them are going to realize that, hey, I may need to change my game a little bit here, because it's one thing to think you're going to do all this stuff, but then when you got to sit there and talk to somebody that puts their heart and soul into their business, and they want people to come, basically do the same thing that you're doing on this football team, then you might want to approach it a different way. And for the juniors, I think that'll be the eye opener.
Even learn how to communicate, to ask the right questions, or have them ask the right questions and you answer, appropriately. Because you got to. You know what it's like doing job interviews.
Right.
You got to put it all out on the line.
Well, you got to sell yourself.
That's not easy.
That's right. But you got to sell yourself, not oversell yourself.
Right.
You got to be confident, but not too confident. Right. You got to know your audience. I mean, there's a lot to it, and
make yourself stand out from the guy that's in front or behind you.
And most of these guys were recruited, so they weren't asking these questions. They were begged to come to their school, which, we tell them all the time, it's probably the last time that'll ever happen to you. It may happen when you get into business, but not a lot. So, they need to understand the opportunities that are out there. And they're not just here in Richmond, they're everywhere. So, Gary McPeak, like I said, he's a football chief of staff. Gary is well known throughout the state. Well, he got together with the Richmond Chamber and then the Chamber in Frankfort, and they're the ones that kind of built this job fair into really what it is. I mean, it was really going to be good before, but they've really taken it to another level. And I think these young men are going to understand that, hey, I can get a head start here. And I hope they understand that. Now, I hope none of them get offered a job and leave and go to do that job, unless it's after the season.
Yeah, there you go.
But
let's get a starting date after.
I started thinking about that. They started talking about some of the jobs they might could get, and I was like, hang on a second now. We don't need that guy there right now. He may decide I'm tired of eating ramen noodles.
Start until,
Even an NIL deal somehow.
Yeah, but, there may be, all those things are possible through this. And, I was fortunate enough to be around some guys that, have done all this stuff before, and I just kind of combined it. And, and it just really is something I think that's important. We're not a football factory. We're not, but neither is most schools.
Yeah.
I mean, most schools have 30 kids graduate. Well, if you're at Alabama, Georgia, LSU when they win it, maybe 15 go. But the rest of them got to go do something.
Yeah.
And they're distraught because they didn't go.
Right.
So they got to find something that they're passionate about instead of just floundering around for a year and a half and wasting that year and a half.
Well, let's talk about the spring game, the day after the Sutra Seniors. That's a big day for you guys as well, as you kind of –
It's a full day.
Yeah, you wrap up the spring. It's the spring practice and everything going on. So let's talk about that and just kind of what you've seen from your team. You just said day 4 so far, what you all have been doing thus far.
Well, again, the next day we're going to have a breakfast that morning for our parents. We get, each kid gets 2 guys to come or 2 people to come to the breakfast, because some of these parents we haven't really met because of COVID and because of whatever. We weren't able to meet them. So we'll start off with that at 3:30 or at 2:30. We're going to try to have an alumni game. Not a lot of interest. So if anybody's watching and Thomas Bowling or Jake Johnson. Yes, right.
Is it just former players?
Just former players. Yeah, we were just going to do former players.
I was loosening the arm up.
Yeah. Well, Tommy Luganville is coming back, and he was like the chicken wings getting ready, and I'm like, and I hope we got enough for you to play. And so we'll see where we go with that. Yeah. But then at 3 o'clock it starts the game. But it'll be a everybody will get to play. First half will be a stoppage and kind of like normal, and we're only going to go 12-minute quarters. And then the second half will be a running clock, and spring game's always the finale part of it. It's like we've done everything else. Let's just get out of here and not have any injuries and do everything right.
Hopefully have some fun, right?
And have some fun, and everybody get a chance to play because everybody's working hard and finishing off what we feel like hopefully will be a great 15 practices. We've had our first 4. We had a little live, I don't want to say scrimmage, but some tackling on I guess it was Saturday, and I think you see where I think we're closer to starting back where we left off in the fall than we have since I've been here. This is only my second spring because the first one got canceled. But I feel, with the retention level of their offense, the defense, the special teams, I really think our kids have really worked hard at improving that. I think Billy Brown's done a great job in the weight room. They came out and they look good. They look where we need them to be. They got to, obviously we're never satisfied. We're never happy. We got our GPS units in the other day, so now we got all these GPS units so we can get the miles per hour. We can get all that fun stuff for y'all.
Wow, yeah.
We can tell you somebody. We had somebody hit 21 the other day.
Wow.
So we do have some. We're still learning. I mean, it is a complicated system, and it's the same system everybody else has got. So, really, really happy about that from Catapult, and I think our guys were kind of shocked when we brought them out, and it was like, yeah, we're going to find out really how hard you're working, and we're going to put, everybody's all about science these days, right? So we're going to look at the science, and we're going to look at the reality, and so really, really thankful that we have the opportunity to do that through our, our administration and providing that, and private donations that came in for that. So I'm really excited about this week. Tomorrow, we got number 5, and we go in the mornings, so it's a good time to get out there at Presnell, and we got plenty of space and see where we're at.
Samantha, before we let Coach go, run down the info there for the Suits for Seniors.
Okay, and I did want to say one more thing. If you don't want to play in the alumni game, because we can, obviously, there's a 5K that morning.
There you go.
That's a lot of running. That's a lot.
Okay, well, if you don't want to do that, then there's a concert that night.
Okay, there you go. Yes, there's all kinds of
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
who is that?
I looked it up.
didn't mean-
J.P. Sachs.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he's an R&B guy, so you can just you don't have to
little
throw.
smooth jazz. Yeah,
you
they-
can
See
sit
there?
and listen. You got to buy tickets.
Maybe
for
have
that.
a new cigar that you got at the auction, and you can have some fun with
That's
it.
There you go.
exactly right. So there are tickets still available for the dinner auction.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No,
raffle.
they're all available. You can get them online. You can go online and get them, and you just go to our website. There's a drop down at in the football, and you can go there. Suits for Seniors is what it's called. You can get online. You can call Grant Stepp. You can call Taylor Randall. You can call Gary McPeak. You can call me. And
it's a good deal. It's not that I mean, obviously it's a fundraiser,
right? Yeah.
But just for a couple, I mean, it's $300. You get your meal, you get open bar, and you get one reverse raffle ticket.
That's right. You got a chance to win $10,000.
Yeah.
So it's I think it can be a fun night, and I think it will be a fun night as long knock on wood, because we are outside some, that the weather stays away, but we do have a big tent, so we should be all dry. We should be good, all that good stuff. And I'm just really excited. I mean, Danye Smith is now over at Arlington, and she's helping us coordinate with Arlington and the Mule Barn. So her husband Pat was a former great player for us. So it's I really think it's coming together the way we need it to come together, and I'm looking forward to it being something that can really help rally these young men, and we can get them looking sharp and hopefully get them into a job that they can, find their passion.
Well, Coach, as always, a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, and I'm excited that you're taking the opportunity to help find them a lifetime of skills and jobs. And
I think it just goes to show that it's not just about football.
It's not just football and
you care about these kids and you want to see them succeed.
So. Well, it is, and I can go back to my experience as a I didn't deserve the opportunity that we're giving these kids because I was a knucklehead, but oh yeah, well, I mean, I think I've slowed down the last 4 years at least, it's just so hard to get started and to find out what you want. And I have a finance degree. I was going to be Mr. Businessman, and my brother knew, and he drugged me out to his high school, and boom, I got the bug, and I've been running ever since. And so you don't know until you know, and but if you don't have the opportunities to know, you're never going to know.
I didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated
I still don't.
college.
Yeah, I mean,
I've been avoiding work for 25 years now, I think it is.
But if you can help them find their passion, it's not really work.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. I enjoy every bit of it.
We're going to have some more features on spring football and everything coming up. Dawson will be up there this weekend getting some footage, and I'll be up there next week to get some interviews with coaches.
And we will share all
maybe
this
some
too.
players.
We will definitely put it on our pages and on our social media. We want this to be a huge success. like you said, whether you're here or not, it would be great to keep it. I think you're not going anywhere.
Well,
how about we don't
I'm not planning on it, but you know how this goes.
I
appreciate
for
that.
Mr. McFadden. That's also that weekend.
Yeah. No, I know. It's the installation weekend, and it was supposed to be the weekend before, but then some things changed.
Yeah.
It's a busy weekend at Eastern that weekend.
There ought to be a lot of people in town.
Yeah. All right, Coach. As always, a pleasure, my man, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks so much for having me.
EKU football, folks, step aside, and when we come back, there's some baseball going on in the EKU, not only with the team itself, but this weekend, a big game coming up. We'll talk to
new team.
Michael Koltak from the Legends and Genomes and Mark Howard from EKU. We're here live at Jack Burford Chevrolet on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
What does in transit mean? When you see that on our website at jackburford.com, it means your favorite Chevy is on the way. Call us at 859-623-3350 to reserve it, and we'll keep you updated throughout the entire process. See, it's that easy. Reserve your new Chevy today at jackburford.com. Your vehicle is now in transit.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer, and in the spring of 1992, Bishop's Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then, in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Cub Cadet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop's Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family-owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation. With 24/7 emergency services, Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find, and that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills. When you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show, Samantha Burford, Michael Watkins talking more EKU sports, and a little bit of a twist, Samantha, as some pro baseball is coming to Richmond this weekend. We've got
excited.
Mark Howard with EKU, and got Michael Koltak from the Legends and the Genomes and everything here in Lexington. But first, I want to start with Mark, and just how did this idea of hosting this game kind of come about, and how did EKU get involved with it?
Sure. Chris Pearl, who used to work at EKU, now works with the Legends, and he and we stay in contact often. And so right now the Legends ballpark is unavailable. They've got a lot of renovations going on with their new contract with Wild Health. And so Chris and I have been working together on how we can maybe help them a little bit. The Legends, they've been great partners over the last 20 years. And the number of students that they've taken on as interns within their clubhouse and the front office, and the number of student athletes from EKU that have played there. I mean, they've been great partners over the years. So it's our ability to help them whenever they don't have a field. And so players like Josh Anderson, Brian Quillens, Caven Brown, Christian Friedrich, Chris Clark, and others who have worn the Colonel jersey to give back and help out the legends when they don't have a field, then we're going to be able to do that right now. And there's an additional legend, or actually it's a genome, right?
Yeah, he's a genome.
Yeah. There's a genome that's a former Colonel that's going to be on the roster, and so hopefully he'll be here on Saturday, and we'll get to watch him again play on our field.
Is that a secret?
Is it a secret who the player is? Or?
No, it's not. It's Demetrius Moore.
Okay. I was wondering.
Played for EKU in 2012 and 2013.
That's right.
He's an outfielder, a speed guy. We're looking forward to having him on our team as the bench coach for the Genomes, and looking forward to utilizing his speed.
Yeah. Now, right now, there's former Legends player on the staff at EKU, right? Correa is an assistant coach at Eastern.
Yeah. Christian Correa is I think he's a student coach for EKU right now until he goes off and plays in the American Association this year. He was a huge piece in helping us win a championship last year.
Yeah.
We traded for him from the Milwaukee Milkmen at the end of the season when one of our catchers had to leave for winter ball, and he stepped in and filled those shoes just perfectly. And he swung us to a championship there in one of those last games, and it was awesome. It was incredible.
Now, Samantha, I know you didn't get to experience the Legends a lot last year.
Not the way
but
you did.
Tom and I, so for those that don't know, Tom and I got to join the team last year, if you will, and become part of the broadcast crew. GoBigL.com, all the games were streamed on there, and what a season it was. Just talk about the excitement of last year.
A championship season.
Yeah, first year in the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball, the ALPB, and you come away as champions, and what a roster that was put together. Kind of headlined by former Cincinnati Red, a legend in his own right on the Legends, Brandon Phillips.
Sure, yeah. What a ride it was. I know that you got to see us day in and day out. It's such an interesting transition from affiliated baseball to independent minor league ball. And being in this partner league, MLB, we are very proud of that. It was such a grind, though, for the whole season. The cool thing about our job is our favorite moment as a front office and as a coaching staff is getting to sell a contract off back to an affiliated team. And we had a ton of that last year. So it was almost – it felt like right as we were kind of always hitting our stride, we were always losing guys again, which is, such a double-edged sword.
It's like you just get them in, and then it's like
right, and then you're scrambling to fill that spot again. And I think we did a really good job of staying on our toes and maintaining a high level of play. And it was, at the end of the season, there was it's probably about the best championship I've ever won. It felt like it was long and hard, but we fought through till the end. And just like our organization's been doing since 2020, it's never too tough for us.
Talk about the Genomes now that they're going to be in the same ballpark, and just kind of how with Andy and everybody working together to get this team into Lexington, now having two teams there, and the idea of what it's going to be like of these two teams in the same city playing in the same league against each other.
And are people going to be asking like we did? We want to make sure we say it right,
Yeah, the Genomes.
Are people like I did make sure we say it right?
We certainly had a interesting. Splash on social media when we announced the team name. But things have been going well, and people have been really buying into the product. So the way that it came about was we have 9 teams in the Atlantic League this year while adding Staten Island, so we, as a league, needed a 10th. So instead of having what traditionally would happen is a travel team to even out both sides, because you have to have an even amount of number teams to be able to play, we here in Lexington decided to keep the level of play higher, and offer up our facilities to host a second team. And it worked out perfectly with our new naming rights partners, Wild Health. And so they kind of took over the sponsorship of the team. And we brought in, the team and Charleston's manager, Mark Minikazi, who's great. And together he and I have built a roster that we're really proud of, and we think will be very competitive. So the way that it'll work is when one team's home, the other one will be on the road. Unless they're playing each other, which they will 41 times this year, I think. So
How many?
40 times.
Yeah.
And so they will be rivals.
Yeah.
It will get chippy, and it'll be really great for the fans. It's going to be an awesome show.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think that it'll be fun because you said it's kind of creating a rivalry kind of out of nothing. Just these two teams now sharing the same ballpark.
Are you doing both games?
Well, now that's one. There are three of us now.
Teams.
So Tom, and there's another guy going to be joining the team with us this year to kind of just. There's a lot of games. 100 and or maybe
123 home games.
Yeah, so it's a lot of games for us to kind of get in there and work together. So Tom and I and the third guy will kind of be working together to do those games, and it should be a lot of fun. And there's a lot of EKU ties. Hugh Davis, who does the stats at EKU.
Right.
I mean, Hugh bleeds maroon. He also works a lot with the Legends and the Genomes now this year,
right.
and Keith Hardiman, who does some of the PA announcing at EKU, he does some of the stats there at the Legends Field as well. So a lot of EKU tie-ins, and as Mark said, there's a lot of former EKU students that work there and players that are going to be on the team. We're going to get back to Mark and talking about the game this weekend, but I wanted to ask Mike about the rosters. And so we talked about the Genomes roster. How many of the former guys that were there last year with the Legends are back this year to kind of take this championship and do a repeat?
Yeah, so we've got a couple guys that are from the Legends last year on the Genomes this coming year. But, roster-wise on both sides, we're bringing in about 14 or 15 big league experienced players. So we're talking about two teams that I think will have a chance to fight for a championship again this year. And, I mean, man, what a story that'd be if the Genomes won it, if they were a one-and-done team. There's something there. But, we've got guys a ton of UK ties, too, which we're excited about. From Dustin Beggs, Luke Becker, Riley Mahan, Tim Peterson played in the big leagues, and he was a UK Wildcat, to Demetrius Moore, who played at EKU. Just a bunch of really great guys. Then we're returning guys like Henry Owens on the other side, who was a big leaguer. Jose Breseño, he was a big leaguer. Do
we have Hawkins back? Is Courtney Hawkins
Courtney
back?
Hawkins will be back. That is confirmed. Recently confirmed news. So that's exciting news for the Legends fans.
Missed about 2 months last year with an injury, and then he still was tops in the league in home runs, RBI. I mean, he was an animal.
He's a very, very special player.
Yeah, very good. And he's a guy that I think everybody that watches the Legends can fall in love with. And I was a big fan of Tillman Pugh as well. And I know he's playing some baseball overseas right now, but
he will be in Mexico this season.
Okay.
There's a chance that he could end up on the Legends for a little playoff push, though.
Oh, okay. There
I
we
would
go.
never count anything out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it, all the inside scoop. Before we start talking about that, the Legends Stadium has always been beautiful, so I'm anxious to get back in there because we've done the show there.
Yeah, we did the show there
times.
last year. Yeah.
I hope that we'll be welcome back over there.
Absolutely.
And
I'm going to be there a lot. So,
so hopefully I'll be
seeing a lot of
over there to do our show. But I'm excited to see the changes. You talked about, the improvements and things like that. And, boy, when you see – I'm sure you've seen it, but the EKU, their baseball stadium is gorgeous.
And we actually have the same turf company that's doing our turf in the same style, and it pops, man. It's been they've been rolling it out here the past couple days, and obviously that's why we're coming to play here at EKU this weekend, which we really do appreciate the partnership. And
no doubt,
you're really giving us a great opportunity to here reach this Richmond market, which we are very, very grateful for.
It's a great opportunity for us too, because we're excited to come and see.
And
watch.
It's still not worked out yet, but we're hoping to have this game on the WBON TV platform. But Mark, before we talk about that, I mean, this idea, this game, and you talked about it. How big of a deal is it for Eastern as well to bring in, a different kind of crowd? It's going to be an all-day thing with the Eastern playing Central Arkansas during the day, having the Easter egg hunt, and some things going on in between the two games.
Yeah, if you love baseball, this is where you should be on Saturday. With baseball, we play Central Arkansas at noon, and then at the completion of that ball game, we've got an Easter egg hunt that should kick off right into the Legends game, which starts at 6. But also, we've got softball at 1, and we're also hosting Central Arkansas. So it's a Central Arkansas weekend.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So come on out, enjoy the ballpark with us, and then stick around for the professional game following.
And you can get your tickets online, folks, EKUsports.com. There's a link for the Legends tickets. There's a link for the baseball or softball game. And just make a full day out of it. Yeah, $5 for the Legends game.
$10 for reserved seating with the back. So.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fun day, as you guys talked about. Now, Mark, you talked about the facilities at Eastern. You guys have worked so hard to kind of get not only the baseball field, but, Alumni Coliseum, Roy Kidd Stadium, all the things that you all have been putting into making sure that the facilities here are top-notch, and that you all can compete kind of with the other schools and be like, hey, we got some top-level facilities here as well.
There's no doubt. I mean, we want to provide the best facilities we can for our student-athletes so that they can be successful and safe. and provide the best fan experience that we can for our individuals who are supporting us and our students. And facilities are a huge part of that. It's an arms race within college athletics, and having the support of our state, having the support of our board and our president and our university, our alums, our donors, is critical for us to being able to provide that for our student athletes.
Michael, before we let you go, tell the folks where they can get more information about the Legends this year. If they want to come to a game or maybe be able to watch a game for the Legends or the Genomes.
Sure, LexingtonLegends.com. That'll be the website for both teams this year. Come there for any and all information, ticket information, and we'd love to have the people of Richmond out at the field this year.
Got to get on Instagram and Facebook and follow the Legends on there, because there is a ton of promotions this year. I think there's a promotion for every single game, at least for the Legends, if I'm not mistaken. There's going to be a lot of fun this season to be had.
Yeah, both teams have a great promotional schedule. There's going to be a ton of fun at the ballpark this year.
And even food.
Yeah,
the food's the best part.
Food's always
it's really hard for me to count my calories whenever I'm going to do these games, because I'll get food before the game, and then during the game they'll have some stuff brought by. So it's hard for me to kind of lose weight.
EKU does it too. What is it, Taco Tuesdays?
And everybody can do me a favor and go find the Wild Health Genomes on social media too, and give them a follow.
Yes.
Follow them on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Actually, I think the Facebook is combined.
Okay.
But Twitter and Instagram, they have their own, and I like to think that our personality on the Genomes page is pretty good.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, I'm anxious. I haven't been there yet. I'm going to.
There's a rivalry on social media that will probably lead over onto the field as well.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
It's Michael Kotak with the Legends and the Genomes, and Mark Howard, EKU Sports. Guys, we appreciate you all stopping by and looking forward to this weekend. Should be a fun weekend for everybody. Yeah. Hopefully the weather's not what we had this past Saturday, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Take one more commercial break. When we come back, lots more to get to, folks. We're here live at Jack Burford Chevrolet on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show.
What does in transit mean? When you see that on our website at jackburford.com, it means your favorite Chevy is on the way. Call us at 859-623-3350 to reserve it, and we'll keep you updated throughout the entire process. See, it's that easy. Reserve your new Chevy today at jackburford.com. Your vehicle is now in transit.
I'm Michelle. And I'm Jennifer. And in the spring of 1992, Bishop Small Engine Repair was born in our mom and dad's barn in Estill County.
Then in the fall of 1992, we made the move to Madison County, where we are today. With the support of our family, customers, and community, we have continued to grow in the outdoor power industry. With a full line of products from Kokudet, Grasshopper, Echo, and Shindawa, we can help you tackle your yard so you can enjoy it with your family. Bishop Small Engine Repair, where our focus is our customer. Stop on in, 119 North Estill Avenue in Richmond. We can't wait to see you.
Locally family owned and operated Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is a full-service construction company offering full-service home maintenance. Bluegrass Restoration specializes in wind, fire, and water damage and mold remediation with 24/7 emergency services. Bluegrass Restoration and Construction is here to serve you during any emergency. All their services are performed in-house with no subcontractors. No job is too big or small for Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. Give them a call at 859-353-1133.
Who makes the best meal in Richmond? Nuevo Vallarta. Friendly service, a place that's good for kids and good for groups. Head to Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond. Nuevo Vallarta is known for warm hospitality, great prices, great food, and the best margaritas and fajitas in town. Doesn't a huge 32-ounce ice-cold beer sound great? Start with an appetizer, order a la carte, or choose from their huge menu of Mexican favorites for grown-ups and kids. Nuevo Vallarta on Big Hill Avenue in Richmond.
Patrick O'Neill has been serving Central and Eastern Kentucky since 1995. When someone is accused of something they didn't do, or when a good person makes a mistake, they need the best representation they can find, and that's Patrick O'Neill. Whether it's criminal defense, Social Security, disability, personal injury, workers' compensation, or deeds and wills, when you need legal advice, trust the expertise of Patrick O'Neill. He will get you the money you deserve. His office is located in Jackson, but Patrick practices all over Central and Eastern Kentucky. For more information or for a free consultation, call 606-666-2990.
The Beast of the East roars back to life for their 2022 racing season. Most Saturday nights, some Friday nights, and maybe even a Sunday. You can take the whole family down to the Richmond Raceway for some good family fun. Watch the drivers race around the 1,584 feet clay track for some big winnings. Children 10 and under are always admitted free. Richmond Raceway, Greens Crossing off Highway 52 East, and richmondraceway.net. Unleash your inner beast at the Richmond Raceway.
Back here on the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. And, folks, I know what you're thinking. This is real life Samantha Burford. This is not a hologram.
Hey,
she is in the building today.
Spring break last week.
Spring break. Okay, what's going on next week? Where are you going to be at?
you
just told me right before we came on there. Oh, yeah, I won't be here next week. Oh, okay. All right. So, anyways.
Hey, we're not in
that's what Dawson's here for, though. Listen, Dawson can literally do it all, though. That's the good thing about Dawson.
That's why we love him.
Yeah.
He's my replacement.
No matter what color he's wearing, blue or maroon or black, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Dawson can do it all.
It doesn't matter. Bengals. He's wearing Bengals.
But listen,
ready.
we've had over spring break. You talked about it. The spring break bash, Madison Central, the softball team sweeping. They've won 6 games in a row. The baseball team had a good trip, lost just 1 game. It's been really hard for these teams to get games in, though. The weather's just been so bad. Dawson, you were on spring break a couple of weeks ago with Eastern, and it's kind of been that way for almost a month now. It seems like we've had.
Well, they've not been able to have their home games because their fields aren't
but now
ready.
that's been negated as well. So moving forward, I think starting this week, now the softball team will play in the Madison Central Triangle on Saturday versus South Oldham and Ryle. And then the baseball team doesn't have any home games this week, but they'll come with home games next week. So baseball, at least in Richmond, right around the corner. Now, Model's been playing some games. They've had some rained out. We were going to do the Model softball game Thursday against Henry Clay, I think, and that game got canceled as well. So the weather, the field conditions themselves, and then just the field not being able to be played on. Same for Madison Southern. Their baseball and softball fields have been unable to be played on as well. But
and it's supposed to rain all week this week.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we're tired of the rain. We're ready for some warm weather. We've been teased with it. There's been 3 or 4 days.
We didn't realize it was April snow.
Yeah. Well, Dawson, I mean, so we know it's been. We talked about it last week. You've been able to talk to Coach Hamilton a lot with EKU, and right now EKU basketball has a higher recruiting class than Louisville does.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. So Coach Hamilton actually saw you on campus and showed that graphic to you. So that's pretty cool.
I was pretty surprised. I saw it. They were above Louisville, Tennessee, and Arizona. 3 blue bloods, you could almost say, in basketball. And he showed me that while he was giving a recruit a visit. So they may even raise that a little bit more. Who knows? But it's impressive. I mean, he's taking EKU basketball to heights we haven't seen in years. So.
Yeah, and you got there's the 2 guards that are coming in, and you got Turner Butchery's coming in from an in-state product.
Which is going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, the 3-pointers are going to be a lot of fun. And I think as they go forward with all the different, players they have coming in, there's still some names out there. We talked about it last week, you and I, when we were doing the show. Dante Allen's still out there. Maybe come. I mean, I'm not sure what the odds of that are, but we would love to see him.
Wouldn't
I think his playing style would be perfect, and he played with a lot of these guys. He played with Moreno in some of the All-Star games when they were coming out of high school together. And then Isaiah Cozart, former Madison Central basketball player, is in the portal as well. And
was at Western, right?
Went to Western.
Right.
He's still got 2 years of eligibility left, and I think he would be a perfect fit for this EKU basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hometown kid. Get him back here. I mean, EKU was probably on his radar to begin with. Why not go for him and then shoot for the stars with Dante? So we'll see.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of fun and excitement, and that's kind of what the transfer portal does. I mean, you've got these local kids that are coming out of high school. We've seen it recently. Kenley announced he was going to Eastern. Malachi Woods going to Kentucky, and then Edgren Sweat last week announced he's going to go to EKU, committed there. So there's a lot of talent around the area that are going to play local, and we love seeing these kids get the opportunity to do so. I know I saw Jackson Chambers was at the UK spring game this weekend for Madison Southern, so there's a lot of really good players here locally. We like seeing them stay close to home and get the opportunity to do something, either at Eastern or Kentucky or wherever the case may be, and have the chance to do so, and that's live out their dream and play at the next level.
Right, and there's a lot of local talent. It's been growing here in Richmond and Berea lately. I mean, it used to be the case that when I was a kid, it didn't seem like there was much talent. There were some here and there, and now it's like every class is just stacked with players going to Eastern or Kentucky or something like that.
So you guys just make your wish list. You can email it to Coach Hamilton.
Yeah.
And be like, these are our Kentucky boys, and
bring them in,
this
Coach.
is our local
Get it done. When Coach will do it,
County kids. Bring them in.
Yeah,
Bring them on.
And you said you talked to Coach. I mean, he's excited about next season, obviously. Just kind of the bad taste in the mouth with – I mean, obviously it's a disappointing year, but with all the injuries, they never had a chance to even get off the ground, basically, because of all the negative things that happened. COVID, the injuries they had. I mean, Jansen Williams and Braxton Beverly were going to be perfect fits in the A.W. Hamilton system. A stretch big and then a point guard who can handle and shoot, and it just never came to fruition. And then you lose some guys in the transfer portal as well, the 2 big names being Lewis and and Jamari Brown. But there's a lot, I think, still out there for Eastern to kind of regroup and reload, if you will.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep building on these good recruiting classes, and Hamilton's just building something special. I can't explain it, but Eastern basketball's got a vibe to it right now. I'm liking it.
So Samantha not here next week. Dawson, are you good for next Monday?
Sign
you
me
and
up.
I again. All right, there we go. Dawson Rule will be back with me next Monday. We'll have all kinds of fun.
Dawson.
Dawson going to be covering some EKU stuff for us this weekend as well with the football team. And then we got a lot coming up in the next few weeks, folks. We got the game on Saturday, hopefully on WBON with the Genomes and the Legends. Then we'll have the Madison County Sports Hall of Fame, the 11th region versus 12th region All-Star game. May have Austin Newton come over next Monday and talk to us about that. So a lot coming up down the pipeline here on WBON.
Some baseball. Finally get in some baseball.
Yeah.
Local baseball.
For all of our guests today, Michael Koltak and Mark Howard. We also had Walt Wells from EKU football. Dawson Rule, Samantha Burford, Gage Hill, and I'm Michael Watkins. Folks, have a great rest of your Monday night. And Practical Jokers coming on right now here on WBON TV.